Man, it's been a lot of drama in Hawaii early on. Two out of three games. 2 out of 3 games so far have been quite exciting. Auburn gets the win, tip in with 1.2 seconds left. It was a destruction early on for Iowa State. I mean, they were controlling this game. Welcome into Field of 68 After Dark. I'm John Martin, joined tonight by John Henson and Tyler Hansbrough. But Auburn uses a big run in the second half and obviously pulls it off 83-81. Broome finishes with 21, and again, the tip in there. Tyler, this Auburn team, they're stacking them up now, right? I mean, you beat Houston at Houston. Now you start Maui off with a win like this. Just what do you make of this Auburn team and what they're
This is a big time win. Arguably, they've played one of the toughest schedules so far. If you watch the first half of this game and you watch how Iowa State really pressured Auburn, Auburn didn't handle their pressure well. Their guards turned the ball over. Iowa State got out and ran, capitalized it. And I really felt like in the first half, they really didn't find Johni Broome inside with a lot of good looks. And I think in the second half, he really established himself. The guards started taking care of the ball, and they're able to find him down low. And Johni Broome had a much bigger presence. But, this is a shock to me and says a lot about Auburn that they're able to come back and pretty much, completely have a different second half, withstood a haymaker from Iowa State. And this says a lot about them.
Yeah, I said Auburn before this game. Auburn is the best team in America to me, and I'm rocking with them until to a further notice. I mean, they put up 74 points on the almighty Houston defense, shooting 50% from the field. Then you put up 83 on an Iowa team that is arguably maybe better than Houston defensively, but they were whooping them earlier, and the resiliency of this team and just the all-out firepower they have when they are down, good luck. I mean, this team is going to make some real noise in the SEC. They're my favorite, obviously, to win this tournament. For them to come back like this on the Iowa State team that prides themselves on defense, it's just hard, man. It's just hard, and they've got a couple players on their team with just some big nuts, like Baker Mazzara, you know what I'm saying, Pettiford, like those dudes, bro, like. They are not scared, man. Like, and that's what happens when you got guys like that. You come back from 20 down and you win games like this. And this is going to be a tough tournament for them because I feel like they put out a lot of energy to come back. But for the most part, man, hats off to Auburn, man, for another just tough, stay in it type of win, man. They beat two of the best teams in the country. Definitely two of the best defensive teams in the country.
Yeah, we're not going to be silenced today. Big state media is trying. It's not going to work. All right, we're gonna get this Memphis propaganda off one way or the other. But no, what I was gonna ask, John, is like, I don't know. It feels like there's a different level with Auburn this year, right? Like, I mean, it's a lot of it is the same, but what is different? Like, how are they able to sort of come back and again, beating Houston at Houston's going to age as well as anything in America. Like, is there something that you see that's different with them, or is it just a continuation of a culture that was kind of already in place?
Where I'm from, and they say they apply that pressure. They apply that pressure. You're going to have to beat them 40 minutes every minute. And if you let them get a slither of hope, as you saw tonight, they take off and they run with it. They have the three-point shooting at a volume that if they do get down, it kind of was like Alabama last year in a sense where, Alabama would get down 10, 15 points, and you look up, they won by 10 points or they won the game. They kind of have a similar firepower, except defensively, man, they get after you. So they're going to be in a lot more games than maybe Alabama would be, from a defensive standpoint. So I have nothing but good things to say about Auburn. I thought it was over early on, and they withstood punch after punch, foul trouble, and came away with the win.
Yeah, I guess you guys were touching on it briefly. I mean, there is another side of this. I mean, this Iowa State team, I'm still extremely high on. I mean, this is basically an NCAA tournament game, right? I mean, 83-81, Iowa State throws the first punch, like you mentioned, Tyler. For them, I mean, that's still a team that feels like they're going to be here, at the end too, right?
Yeah, I think they're a veteran team, and the one thing I like about them is they're kind of building momentum off of what they did last year. I've said that, the Deshaun Jackson, if he's a guy for their front court that can really develop into a good big and give them a lot of value, play inside, and become a good interior player, I think they're going to be a Final Four type team. I really like how they get out and run and they pressure the other team's guards. I think their ball pressure is unbelievable, which allows or forces team to turn other teams turn the ball over, which gives them the ability to run. And when they run like they do, they get a lot of high quality looks and easy buckets with those layups out in transition.
Yeah. Well, John, just on that point on Iowa State, I mean, is that a team that, obviously we know that they're capable of winning the Big 12, being there. What's sort of their trajectory from where you sit?
I think tonight showed them, man, they can compete with the best and go toe to toe with the best. Gilbert and Lipsy are a dynamic backcourt. I mean, Gilbert he was 8 for 10 today. I mean, he made some tough layups, some tough finishes, some big time finishes. Deshaun Jackson as well. They're going to be there towards the end as well, and I'm excited to see their growth and how they rebound from this loss because they had it in the bag, man. So we'll see what happens. But Iowa State they're a top 5 team. They're kind of everybody's a dark horse too, to kind of Final Four dark horse, and they kind of showed that tonight that this something that they could definitely do, be a Final Four contending team.
Tyler, when you watch Auburn, obviously, like, we know what makes them great. Like, they just have a bunch of like microwaves, and also the nuts thing that Henson talked about. If you're going to beat them, though, if you're going to beat Auburn, what's the game plan? Like, what's the best way to do that?
For me, it's you got to find a way to take Johni Broome, and you can't let him dominate the inside. First of all, you can't allow them to force or make you turn the ball over easy. I like what Iowa State did tonight. I really felt like their ball pressure and pressuring their guards kind of took Johni out of it in the first half. Their offense was, starting from 2 or 3 feet behind the 3-point line, which makes it very hard to make that pass down low to your bigs. But I think if Iowa State were to win this, they would have had to continue that ball pressure and make it hard for them not to get the ball down low to Johni. But obviously, you've got to control the boards as well when you're playing against a big like Johni. And you also have to get him in pick and roll situations, wear him out through the game. That's how I would approach it, because you're going to have to stop Auburn getting out in transition as well. They can score. And it's going to take a big night offensively, obviously, because somebody's going to have to go off for you.
John, anything to add there?
I think Iowa got into Auburn's style of play, and it's as a hooper, it's fun when you kind of a defensive, grinded out team, and then all of a sudden you guys are running up and down, shooting threes and ones, the crowd's cheering. Iowa State got caught in that, and Auburn's better at that. And that's at the end of the game. That's what happened. They ended up losing the game on a tip in, but I don't think it should even been that close had Iowa State settled down a little bit and not got wrapped up in that high-paced shot-making game that Auburn wants to put you in, that flow, and it came back to burn them.